Hi, okay. Well, today I'm going to show you how to set up your blog site using WordPress. Now, what you need to be really careful about from the outset is that you go to the correct WordPress site because there are two different ones, okay? So we have wordpress.org, which is actually a site where you can add your own blog to your own website. So wordpress.org is where you would host your blog yourself. So this is not where we want to go. We want to go to wordpress.com. So just be very careful about that, seeing the difference. So we're going to go to wordpress.com. Okay. So once we're there, you will, if you don't have a blog already, you'll land on this page here. And you'll need to create, it says website, but in actual fact you're going to be creating a blog site. So you click on here, you'll need to enter an email address. I would suggest that you set up an email address that your whole group can access for your EUT enterprise. Probably use Gmail is probably the easiest way to do it. So make sure that everybody in your group has access to the email that's linked to your WordPress. So I advise you set up an email address specifically for this project if you haven't already. So it will ask you for that email address, possibly a username, and also a password. Once again, make sure every member in your group has access to all of these: the username, the email address, and the password, because if for any reason some of you need to access WordPress and you can't find your colleagues, obviously you'll all need to know how to get into your blog site. Okay. As you're setting this up, WordPress will ask you to choose a title for your blog, which in this case it would be best to use the name of your EUT enterprise, a tagline, which is a short description, a few words about the blog. Could be a few words about your business, your enterprise, the product, or the fact that you're doing it as part of a project, as part of your studies. So just a few words to describe the blog. And you'll also be asked to choose a theme, which is how your blog is going to look. So the graphics, the images, the text, everything. So you'll be shown a range of different themes, and you choose, make sure you choose one that's free. So some of them will have a price shown with the theme. So for the free ones, just make sure you choose one that doesn't have a price on display. Those ones will be the free ones. Okay, then at this point it would be a good idea to go to your email inbox for the email address that you gave WordPress. Find the email from them. You should have received an email from WordPress at this point. Follow the link in the email to confirm your account. Okay. From then on, every time you go to work on your blog, make sure you go to wordpress.com, not wordpress.org, because your login won't work for wordpress.org. It's a completely different site. So make sure always you go to wordpress.com. So next then, having created your account, you'll be logging in. So I'm going to log myself into my existing account. So quite often you'll fall on the reader page. WordPress has two functions. As well as allowing you to create a blog, it also allows you to read and follow other people's blogs that are also published in WordPress. So at this stage we're creating a blog site, so we go to My Sites. There. So this is your dashboard where you'll see you can control Okay, it's got some basic stats that will allow you to see who's been looking at your articles. So here you'll see the title of your blog and the linked address. Oh, that's correct. Let's just go there. Have a look at this. When you create your account, you'll automatically be given a web address, the web address for the blog site. So this will be generated automatically, and this is what you can see here. When you're setting up your account, that will generate automatically, but you'll be asked if you want to customize it. You don't need to do that. Just leave it to the address it gives you automatically by default. So here we've just gone into the account settings there. So once again, we want to go and create a post, in fact. So we'll go back to My Sites. This is the dashboard that allows you to see the overall tools of the management of your blog site. What we want to do is add a new post. So we go to Blog Posts and Add here. And now you see you've still got your toolbar here, all the tools that you need. But here, this is your blank page for your new post. So this is where you're going to put in your first article, okay, which is already saved in a text file. It's a good idea to make sure that you write the article first, either in a Word document, but then before you paste it into your blog template, make sure you post it into Notepad or Block Notes or whichever Notepad version you use for plain text, because through doing this you'll remove all the formatting, so all the code that's unnecessary for your text will be taken out, and this means that the page will load much faster onto the internet. So your blog site will work much quicker and much more smoothly if you paste plain text into it. Okay, so let's go and find that text here. So this is the finished article that you've already collaborated on. You're happy with it, you finished it. So now it's just a case of pasting it in. So here's our title, How This T-shirt Will Help You Communicate in Any Language. This was an existing article which I copied, which obviously you're not going to do. In normal circumstances, very, very important to acknowledge if you've copied anything. Make sure you acknowledge who wrote it and where you found it. Okay, so we'll put this in as our title. And you see it's cut it off because the full title was How This T-shirt Can Help You Communicate in Any Language. Don't worry about this, it's just that the page just literally isn't big enough to display it. So I'm just going to preview that. We'll have a look at that in preview. So here's the overall title of the blog site, Internet Business Project. My tagline, which is TC English Course Site. Here we have the title, so you see it is here in full. How this t-shirt will help you communicate in any language. So we've got that far already. You see it's in preview in full screen mode. You can also preview it to see how it would look on a tablet. That's full computer screen, tablet or phone there. So that shows you how it's going to look when viewed from the front end, the internet. So here we use this to close the preview, which takes us back to the editing screen. Now we're going to put the text in. You see there's no actual text box here, but for people who've been using WordPress already from older versions, they'll know that when you click in here, this is your page essentially. So let's go back to our block notes. There. Okay, put that in. Now you see there's already there's some strange formatting has gone. I think because I've used this article on a French computer set up for writing in French and now on an English one, so obviously it's inserted this instead of a comma. So it's a good stage to read through and check for any formatting errors, but also any spelling errors, that kind of thing, just to double check that you're happy with everything. Now, just to explain these tabs, this shows you what your text looks like in HTML. You can see there's no code, and that's because we've put it in from a plain text document. So that's really nice and clean. That will load nice and quickly. We go back to the visual view. This is what you can see from the front end. Here you'll see you have a series of tools to add media, photographs or video or music. Then formatting, as you would find in any word processor, so bold, grave, italic, bullet points, numbered list, insert a hyperlink, block quote. This is quite a nice one if you are putting in a quotation. So you can use that symbol. Imagine we want it here to show, to demonstrate that what you're putting in there is not your own work, but it's a quotation, a citation from somebody else. Let's take that out again. Then alignments. It's always best for anything that people need to read that's longer than, let's say, a poster or a notice. It's always kinder, nicer on the eyes to have it left aligned. So keep the text aligned left. This is something that you won't see in a normal word processing program. This allows you to, if you just want to, if you have a very, very long article, you can insert what you'll see displayed on the internet will be a more, read more line. That means it keeps what's displaying on the immediate page you land on, it keeps it nice and short, and then the reader can click on that if they're interested and they want to see more. Let's see if we can delete that. Yeah, okay. Get rid of those now. Okay, I think what we'll do then, we'll just put in a hyperlink, because when you, if you go from plain text, obviously, along with all the other code that's taken out, any code that coded the hyperlinks is removed as well. And I think what we'll do, we're just going to make sure that this name of the enterprise featured here, which is IconSpeak, links to their website. Okay. So we just go back here, let's cancel that out and I'll show you what I did again. So IconSpeak is the name of the enterprise. Hover over, select the text, and then choose the hyperlink symbol. And this is where you paste the address. So we'll go back to their website and copy out the address. Back to our edit page, paste that in, and there we go. And I think we'd like it to open in a new window so that your original blog window stays there. Okay. So there's our finished article with the link. Let's save that here. So make sure, unless it's just recently saved, if you see here the word save, make sure you save it. Okay. We're just going to see what that looks like. So this is what it looks like in phone view. Here's what it looks like on a tablet. Again, that looks fine. and then computer screen here. There. Once again, we'll close that with the cross to go back to continue editing. Obviously, what it's missing now is a picture. To add a picture, we use the Add Media icon here. So click on that, and you'll see what's already in your own library within WordPress. So the picture we want to use isn't there, so we're going to add a new picture. There, which is in my desktop. Here it is. Okay. There. Now this is the one which it's selected. You see it has the blue box around it. We want to insert it into the article, but it's gone into the wrong place because I had the cursor in the wrong place. So let's undo that. Doesn't seem to want to. Okay, we'll just delete it then. There. Let's try that again. So you see, yeah, I had the article down, the cursor here from when I'd made the hyperlink. Now it's gone back to put those in again. Let's take those out again. Delete those. Okay, now try again. So normally, yeah, obviously you put the picture at the top of the article. Here we go, it's already in here now. There we have it. So once again, save. Always make sure you save. And let's preview it now. There it is. Okay. We seem to have a problem. We've got some of the text missing. So let's close this down and see what's going on there. Perhaps if we budge that down a step, save, and preview again. There, okay, that's in there completely now. Although travelling the world can be an eye-opening experience. There. So that looks good, but now, obviously what you want to do with your finished blog post is you're going to want to share it in social media. And in order to make sure you've got the correct image displaying, this is particularly important if you've got more than one image in an article, is to set it here as your featured image. So we're also going to set it here. Set featured image, same picture, set featured image. There. This means that anytime you share within social media, which I'll talk about in a moment, this is the picture that's going to display. Okay. But let's preview this, let's save this and preview once more, because what can actually happen if you set the two images as the featured image and you've inserted it in there manually, you can get it appearing twice. So it's more important we have it here under featured image. So what we're going to do, you can see it's put the featured image up here. So what we're going to do is take this one out. There. And we can get rid of this space now as well. So let's save those changes and check again and see what it looks like. No. Okay. So we've got our image. And you see now how the title actually appears beneath the image. And this is what, obviously, when you're sharing in social media, the important thing, particularly in Facebook or any of the visual sites, is that you'll see the image. It's the image that attracts people first. So hence, for featured image, it's automatically put it above the title, which is what you want. Okay, close the preview again. So the post, the article is actually made, it's all there now, but then how do you want to maximise? The whole point of making this post is to get people to come and find out about you. Maybe if you have a website already, for instance, it needs to be able to be searchable. People need to be able to find it. So first of all, we'll add in the categories. I've already created this example of blog for teaching purposes only, and I'm actually going to tick that, because if for any reason this was published publicly, the fact that I've copied an existing blog from the internet would be very problematic. So I just make sure it's obvious here that this is an example. Tags, if we go back, when you create tags, obviously what you're doing is you're putting in the words that people might be searching under, the categories people will be searching under, and that means that obviously your blog will be findable within those different criteria. So going back to the text here, because I took this from a different blog site, it already had certain keywords there. So fashion, language and travel. This article is going to be interested to people who are looking for articles about fashion, language and travel. So there we have our tags there, helping to make it more findable. Obviously then, category here would more likely be products for this particular enterprise. So it's a blog about a particular product. So we've set the featured image already. Sharing. So if you wanted this to share, you would need to connect your social media accounts. To do that, you make sure so we've gone here to sharing. You see here you have the ability to click to connect to a Facebook account, Twitter, Google+, and so on. What's really important here is if you're already logged into Facebook, for example, you need to be in your UT Enterprise Facebook page, not your personal page. Because when you click that connect button, it will join to whichever account you're logged into. Same for any of them. So when you're taking that step, if you're going to do that, which is, you don't have to, but if you want to go a bit further, then you can do that. Okay. Now somewhere, let's go back to the blog posts again. Yeah, sometimes if you go around that route, you go back again to blog posts where you want to see them in a list, you'll see it's not there, but that's because it's not yet published. This is the only blog I've actually published on here, which was relating to BlaBlaCar. So it's in draft. So that's a panic point. You might panic and say, oh, where is it? But it's here actually. There. So we found it here in the list. There's another unpublished one as well. So we found our post here in our list of drafts. We want to edit it. We want to continue working on it. So we're going to click on edit here. Okay, so we've got our image, our title. We're working through this. Okay, let's have a look in more options. Yes, this is what we want to do to help, once again, when people are searching on the internet. We have what they call here the slug. This is what's going to display on the Google search results page. So when you do a search in Google, for instance, let's look here, let's go back, click back to here, the results that you see here. And you see you have a snippet beneath the heading of text here. This is what we're going to edit now. So what they call the slug here is the complete title. Obviously we want something a little bit shorter, so we just pick out the most important words. So let's go bear it down to t-shirt. communicate. T-shirt to help. Communicate in any language. How about that? No, it's more keywords. So we just have T-shirt, help, communicate. We can take out in. You can essentially just take out all the small words, like the prepositions, for example. Leave the nouns and the verbs. So T-shirt, help, communicate, and any language. That's what we've left in there. And the excerpt, the small snippet that you want to see appearing, is going to be what's the one with the most impact from the text. I think it's this paragraph here. IconSpeak helps break down the language barrier, no matter where you are, by featuring universal symbols for words like time, hotel, food, hospital, telephone, Wi-Fi, and of course bathroom. All you have to do is point. Again, people are just interested in, we can leave out the name of the enterprise for now. People just want to see if they've had a good result on their search terms there. Okay, so if we scroll up, we can see helps break down the language barrier. We can take that out. Take all of that out. Remember, there's a limit to what you'll see. Featuring helps break down the language barrier, featuring universal symbols for words like. Okay, that's good. So that's what you're going to see on a results page then when you search for this. You could add the location, but in this case it's not necessary. And again, save. So that's it. Our draft is completely ready now for publishing, and we've put in all the SEO, the search engine details that Google's going to need to attach to it. Then, so it's saved, it's just saved. Let's preview once more. Okay. There. So, okay. Great. Let's close the preview, that looks fine. Here is where you would publish the post. You see next to it here though, you have the possibility of setting it up to publish not immediately, but on a schedule. So you could have it publish, today's the 24th, you could have it published on the 25th, or tomorrow will be the 25th, so the 26th, for example, or next month even in the week 19. But you don't need to know that, it's just useful to know. Remembering if you've linked it to Facebook or Twitter or whatever, it's going to automatically get fed there at the same time. So that's just something useful to know. So you either click on publish to publish directly to the internet, or use this schedule to choose a day and a time, and then it will publish it automatically according to how you set that. Okay. So that's all for that. There was just so that's all finished. Once it's published, you should send me the URL, send me the address of the blog article on my webmail. So during week 19, if you could find me in webmail and send me the URL here for your post so that I can read it and give you an assessment on it. Okay, that's great.